That sounded good.
Ow.
Oh, lost you there for a second, Mike.
Hello and welcome to another Woodshop podcast with Mike Coffey of Coffey Custom Builds, Daniel Dunlap of Daniel Dunlap Woodworks, and Peter Kapar of Petrie's Workshop. You can find us all, as well as the podcast, on Instagram and YouTube.
Welcome to episode 94 of another Woodshop podcast, voted least likely to succeed by Video Podcast Monthly 3 years in a row.
Oh,
Those guys are dicks.
Yeah, they don't know what they're talking about. Video podcasts?
I heard that
how'd they do that 3 years in a row, though?
Oh, we already got it, the vote in.
they knew before it even started. Like,
There's some upper covers.
They also said Betty White's the worst, and I thought that was not cool.
Oh, too soon, Mike.
Dude.
Oh,
What happened?
God rest her soul.
All right, so she was great. What was the thing? What was the joke you made, Dan? You made a good Golden Girls.
She was
Thank you for being our friend.
woodworking influence.
Yeah. I just wanted to thank her for being a friend.
Yeah.
Thank you, Betty White. We this one goes out to Betty.
White Betty.
Actually, this episode is White Betty. That's good. It's the opposite of Black Betty.
God.
Big thanks to our patrons. You guys, that was good. I like that.
Right.
Big thanks to our patrons. You guys are amazing. Thank you for sponsoring the show. We got 3 new patrons, which is them showering Christmas miracles upon us. Thanks to Chuck Kennard, Scott Harrison, and Brady Nelson. You guys are awesome.
Guys.
Thank you so much for the support.
That's
you
awesome.
Guys rock. Also, we got what some would call a review. And we know it's a review because this is playing.
Oh, Black Betty.
With
Ram,
that,
lamb.
I'm going to read a review because that's what happens during the review segment as I read them. But when I'm stalling like this, it's
He's definitely not stalling for time.
Big thanks to Ken K. 5 out of 5, of course. That's the only option. We have it set that way. It's an agreement we had with Steve Wozniak. Love the intro music and banter. Just discovered this podcast. This guy just discovered this podcast on the 30th. He's starting with the oldest, and I am now on episode 6. That is awesome, Ken. You are awesome. Fun and educational. Half of that's right. Love the intro. Sounds like the intro to a detective show during the 70s. And it's so true. Could make a good ringtone for messages received. Actually, we should sell that ringtone. Immediately have us sued by Epidemic Sound because it's their sound. But we're going to do it anyway because we're bold. It's our truth. Looking forward to getting the most recent releases. So big thanks to Ken K for checking out the show.
Do you realize you can go back and listen to the old ones too?
Yep.
I mean, if you
That's
get
what he's
bored.
saying. Isn't that what he said?
He's going through all of them.
He's starting with the oldest, and I am now on episode 6.
Oh, man, I don't listen well. I don't know if you know this.
It gets better and worse
At the same time.
at the same time. And then
It's
you'll
like
know
this.
when you hit the peak, the pinnacle.
Here's the fun. Here's the education, and it's somewhere it goes like this.
Yeah.
And it stops being educational, and it's just fun only. So
Yeah.
we stopped helping people. So I need to draw out a curve of some sort of graph would help us with this. But anyway, big thanks to Ken. You're awesome.
Pie chart.
We're
please.
moving through the intro because we didn't do a show last week. We did a best of. Next week, we're not really going to do a show. And by not really, I mean, we're actually not going to do a show because Dan and Peter coming out to my house. And the reason Dan or Peter coming out to my house is, one, we're in love with each other. This is a 3-way marriage. We've explained this a long time ago.
No reason to hide it.
But also I wanted to mention that we are going to be going out to tour the Semi-Exact facility out in Minden. We partnered with them. They flew Dan and Pete out here for part of this. We're going to go check out their facility. We're going to be sharing their facility, doing some stories around that. We're going to be driving out there, a little mini road trip, about an hour and a half out.
Minden,
maybe
Nevada.
2 hours.
Yeah?
Yep.
Minden, Nevada. Yeah, I'm about 90 miles from there. So it's going to be about a 2-hour drive for us. The snow's been pretty bonkers out here.
A lot of bathroom
might
trips.
be a little bit more. We might be, yeah.
We're taking the tractor.
There's not a lot of people. There's not a lot of people who drive out on that road. So Dan's going to have plenty of opportunity to pee.
Cool.
No one will see it on the side of the road, and he won't get
except for the big yellow spot
lists. So right.
I'll write my name in the snow.
I spilled my Gatorade.
I'll write my name in the snow. That way people know it was me.
Yeah.
You want my autograph?
Kapar.
Go down Route 78.
Dunla. He ran out.
He needs to drink more water. He's very dehydrated. No, we're gonna drive out there in the morning, get out there, hang out at their facility, have fun with those guys out there. Really excited about it. It's gonna be a good time. So big thanks to Semi Exact for sponsoring the trip for the guys to come out here. We're really looking forward to checking that out. We'll have they're doing a Kickstarter for their new product release, which is a full bed kit, not just the hardware, which is what they're known for. They make metal DIY hardware, which is really cool stuff. We've all used it. But now they're making a full bed kit with the DIY hardware and also the wood to make the bed yourself, which is really cool. I think it's a good way to get people who are maybe intimidated by woodworking into woodworking. So Pete will put that Kickstarter link down below and also links to their social media. So thank you, Semi Exact. Also, we're not doing a show next week because of that. So Dan and Peter are going to be here. I cannot wait to spend time with these guys. We'll talk more about that. But let's
last
jump
show
into
of
our week.
2021.
Yeah, this is the last show. So we're going to talk about our week. We're going to talk about our Christmas. I mean, I don't think any of us have been in the shop
this year.
It's the last show ever of this show of this year.
Yeah. Okay.
So I am going to play this song because if I don't, we won't really actually know.
No?
Play that at the end.
I guess we need to isolate that for something. I don't know what. I guess it'll be the end of every episode now. It's Dan saying, hey, goodbye with a bad cold.
Instead of you saying kill it.
Sounds good.
Kill it, right. Here's this. Outstanding.
What's on my bench?
Just gold. Dan, I think I want you to talk first because I know you're fighting the sniffles, bud. So how was your Christmas? How was your week? I'm assuming you've been out of the shop. I don't know.
Yeah, I've been in the shop. Our Christmas was great.
What?
We don't typically buy the kids a whole lot of gifts. I don't see the point in that because they get a lot of stuff throughout the year. So we usually get them 3 gifts or so each. And this year we got them an Oculus VR headset, and that thing has been awesome. We've had several people over to the house for Christmas, and we had some friends over for dinner the other night. And every time somebody comes over, we get out the Oculus and we all play a game or two or whatever. And it's fun. It's super fun. The kids love it. Our family and friends love it. It was a really great purchase. What sucks about that, though, is all the extra money we've spent on games.
That's
nobody warned me about the game situation.
That's how they get you.
It doesn't come with anything. So we've probably spent the same amount of money on games as the actual VR headset. But whatever, the kids love it, and that's all that matters. As far as the actual shop, nope, let me back up. I bought myself a gift, but it's from my wife. She got me some AirPod.
That was nice
AirPod
of her
Pros.
you.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I thought it was like a mustache pass.
If you're not watching the
1 month
video
mustache.
or if you haven't been following me on IG, I'm growing a very nice mustache.
Dan's not stuffy. It's just the hair's getting in his nose. He doesn't know how to deal with it.
He's allergic to his own mustache.
I drank a lot of eggnog, and this sucker can hold a lot of eggnog. Let me tell you what.
Slaps top of mustache.
slurp.
Yeah, so I got AirPod Pros. I don't get woodworking stuff anymore. I usually get gift cards or just straight cash, which is great. I buy my own stuff. It's just easier that way. Yep. As far as the actual shop goes, I was almost done with the big door, right? And mistakes were made. I took it to have it flattened, and when I took it to have it flattened, it started out at 2 inches thick, or actually just right under 2 inches thick. It was 1 in 31, 30 seconds. It was really close. But we chased flatness on it a little bit. You'd flatten the top, flip it over, flatten the other side, and it still had a bit of a rock to it. You could tell it wasn't completely flat. So we'd flip it back
Probably
over.
was flat. Then you released all that wood, and it released strain tension is what I find.
Release tension.
So frustrating.
Or you introduce a little heat from the bit to it, and that'll make it not so flat. But it was
mustache.
It's the mustache.
I didn't have the mustache at the time, so I don't buy that.
Oh, well, I don't know what it was. I can't explain it.
Yeah.
2 days of growth right here. Anyway, chasing flatness, it got down to an inch and a half thick. And if you're not familiar with door building or doors in general, standard door thickness is 1 3/4 to 2 inches. And I was really hoping that 1.5 would be fine, and it's not fine. So I had to reskin the door, with more quarter sawn white oak, just basically gluing a panel on top of the door and going from there. And that's where I'm at with the door.
But that wasn't as bad, right? Because you
no,
already
it
had
wasn't
it flattened,
terrible,
so
but you know, it's just more time and more money that I didn't want to spend. So now I just have to trim off the edges. You know, I skinned it and I let it overhang a little bit on all the sides. Then I'll just flush trim it and be good to go. And I am going to take it and have it flattened one more time because it's now at 2 1/4 inches thick. So I have a 1/4 inch to spare, or 3/4 of an inch to spare if you figure go down to the.
So I was going to ask you, why don't you just like set up?
You don't want to go back down to 1.5? That would suck.
No, yeah, that would suck a lot.
Why don't you just set up like
everything I put on there is kind of.
You should have set up like a trim router sled and do it all in your shop, like you did with the MDF bookcase.
I hate you. You think you're funny? You're not.
What? I'm confused why you're confused.
I feel like you're just attacking me right now.
I don't know what you're talking
Is that
about.
what's going on?
No, just I think it's
A
like your
sander
signature
sled?
move.
No, I'm not doing that. That'd take forever. Aside from the door, I do have a project that I need to work on. I'm probably going to start on it tomorrow. I need to make a yoga rack out of cherry. It was walnut. I hadn't started on it. Yoga rack, a yoga mat
Yogurt rack.
Oh,
It's just
mats.
gonna-
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
No, I got you.
It'll hold mats
I'm all
and
in.
stuff. It's going to be pretty simple.
That's cool. Yeah. Those are fun projects. Those are quick wins.
They should
Yeah,
sturdy enough.
But
Those are
they
heavy.
ordered it a couple weeks ago, and I was like, I'll get to it. And initially they wanted it out of walnut, and he messaged me like 2 days ago and said, hey, did you start that yet? And I was like, no, sorry. He goes, no, that's fine. I actually want to change it from walnut to cherry if that's cool. I'm like, yeah, that's perfectly cool. No problem. So it's a good thing I didn't start that.
Perfect. Cool.
But I'll
It's only twice as
probably
much,
going to start it
so.
tomorrow. It should be really easy. It's just
Just
going to be a
Do it
square
next year.
with a couple pegs in it, like big inch dowels. So
Yeah.
I need to go get some big dowels. And bow ties. Living life. Living the bow tie life, baby.
Bow tie alert.
What was that? Bow ties are
Because
paying
you know
the
the
mortgage,
meme I'm
man.
referencing.
Yes, I do. Bow ties are paying the mortgage right now. It's crazy. Whatever. I released a few new products on my Etsy store, and they're doing okay. So all is well. What about you, Mikey? Let me hear about you.
Well, first I wanted to mention that we have some show title options, and we have 5 horsepower Nintendo Switch.
Okay.
We have Daniel Sanchez from Dan's Mustache, or we have the Dirty Dan, or the Dirty Daniel Sanchez. Or if we really want to chase some SEO, we just call this episode 94 Betty White biography, just to see if we can get some clicks.
Oh my!
What about Whoa White Betty?
No,
No,
I
I don't
feel
want
like that's got some
Yeah, there's some
undertones to that I don't.
People
think
don't
we
know
want.
the Black Betty part.
Yeah.
That's
That's funny. It's funny you say that. My wife's been calling me Pedro. So
Pedro
from
Pedro
Napoleon
Yeah.
Dynamite. She's like, you look like Pedro.
science.
It's funny.
Oh, no, that's the wrong movie.
Kayla calls me
That's
Pedro
another-
too.
That's not
Does she now?
because
Yeah.
your name's
Hard
Pete.
stop there.
Sorry.
Pump the
Well, the
brakes.
show is over,
Pump the
guys.
brakes.
So
It's fun.
no, my week.
Mission
I've
Deer
been in
strong.
Montana for the. I've been in Montana for the week. Man,
Is that
I
in
had-
Canada?
yes, it is actually. No, we were looking at moving to Montana for a while. I mean, that was the destination for us, and then things just didn't align. And ultimately, we're really happy we're still here. We love we love it here. Like, we ended up with this property that we really just absolutely love, and it makes more sense for my business. My wife's company, because of licensing issues, they couldn't let her work out there. So everything worked out great. We're really happy. But
You're
man,
speaking
going
of your
out there,
property real fast. I cannot wait to frolic in your fields.
I can't wait for you guys to come over here. I'm looking outside right now. Like, I don't know. That's the wrong camera. Never mind. I'm looking outside my window right now. I love it here. It's beautiful. So I was going to say, we were in Montana. I was like, it's stunning. Like, it looks like the Wild West out there. It's like flat and hill, like mountains and mesas and plateaus. And there's it's just beautiful. It's just stunning out there. Like, really gorgeous. And
Just much like Nebraska.
I will own. I will own property out there someday. Like I will have a house out there someday. I will. Not now. It's gonna be a while.
He's gonna buy a chunk like this. That's
I'm
still
gonna buy
property
one of those, like,
ownership.
you can put like a 1 inch by 1 inch of like the Sistine Chapel or whatever. No, I'm gonna be I will own acreage out there. I love it out there. But I got back to California, and man, California, it's really beautiful here. Like I really love it here. But it was a really nice vacation. It was hard for me to not focus on work. I ended up doing work almost every day, like administrative stuff. A lot of this administrative stuff, I just like, oh, let's do it later. And then like I was able to get a lot of administrative stuff done. Like early in the morning, I would wake up before everyone else is awake, get myself some coffee, sit down, and just get it done. It was like so nice. It was just really nice. Had some good time with the family. My poor sister, my brother-in-law, while we were gone, there was so much snow that came to Northern California where I live. They got 7 feet of snow in one night in Tahoe. They have 190 or 180, I think it's 192 inches of new snow in Tahoe or some crazy number like that. It's bonkers, like over the last few weeks. But my sister and brother-in-law left the Bay Area on Saturday, which is when we hopped on our plane to get out to Montana, and they didn't get there till Monday late night. It took them 3 days. They had 3 highway shutdowns they had to deal with because of snow. It was a real nightmare for them. So it was really fun to rub it in their face that we flew, and it was so simple. But they had a really tough they had a really tough time getting out there. But we ended up having a really great time. It was just really relaxing. I was dealing with a lot of I'm dealing with a lot of big quotes right now, a lot of big jobs that I'm trying to land, and they're really exciting projects. So I was able to spend time on those and get emails out with customers. So that was really fun. I did have a snafu happen. I shared with you guys, I don't know if I shared it on social media or not. I made it's called a learning tower, or like a mommy's helper stool kind of thing. I made one of those, and customer's a great customer. He's bought from me before. He got it and he's like, hey, this is way too small. I was like, what do you mean? We had discussed the height, but we were talking 2 different languages apparently. He was telling me the height of his counter. No, he was telling me the height of his counter, and I didn't realize he wanted it to be that high. I thought he wanted to be able to reach that high from the platform. So there was miscommunication. Nothing was clearly stated. So unfortunately, for my part, I gave it to him because he's a good customer at a really good price. And now I have to ship it back to myself, remake a new one with a new design, build a new one, and ship him the right size out. So, no good deed is kind of one of those things, but it is what it is. The guy's a good guy. He's got several other items he's going to have me make. So I'm happy to take care of him. I'm happy to take care of my customer. But to me, the height was great, but that just goes to show that it doesn't mean that means the same thing to someone else. So you got to make sure these conversations are had. I thought we were on the same page, and I don't typically make these mistakes, to be honest. It was a really crazy couple of weeks up until we left for Montana, and I was knocking out so much work in such a short time.
You were actually.
The communication wasn't there. Yeah, it was just a ton of stuff, like all at once. Like it just missed. The conversation wasn't had that needed to be had. So we anyway, that's gonna get fixed. I got to deal with that
now,
starting.
Can you just
Monday.
scale that thing up on a CNC? Because that was all cut on a CNC, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna have to do. I mean, it's the height on it now is 27 inches. He wants it to 36 inches. So I'm going to scale. I'm just going to grab it and bloop everything, make it a little bigger. So, yeah, I'm going to stretch it out. So, you know what I'm saying? So I got to go through there, but the problem is it's a 3-dimensional. It's a 3-dimensional.
Are you measuring from the floor or from the stand? Like the part they stand.
I've got to clarify that with him, because if he wants it to be 36 inches, that thing's going to be crazy big. Like it's going to be huge, like a ladder. Just go by. What's the matter, Dan?
My microphone just glitched again, so it's probably all fucky. I sat down and it went turned off, turned back on, which means.
So Mike, should we pause
real quick,
or just keep going?
No, I don't think so.
I'm gonna have to stop. I'm gonna have to stop my Audacity.
Okay. Yeah. Well, 3, 2, 1. Stop it real quick. Hold on. 3, 2, 1. Stop. Shit.
What?
You're good. I'll fix it.
Okay.
I hit stop like 2 seconds after you guys. It's all good.
I'm gonna save this as well, just in case.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That's a good idea.
Are you exporting it or saving the project?
No, just save the project.
I'm just saving it.
Do you need a new? Is it a bad USB cable, Dan?
I don't know what the fuck is going on.
I actually just noticed mine's fucking bent in the back of it. Like it's actually angled.
Jason bent.
Jason bent, but it's working. So I'm not
I
touching
feel like it's a static buildup thing. Like as soon as I touch something and I have static buildup, it goes.
Just touch Max
Maybe.
first. Discharge on him. Wait, that came out wrong.
Ew. God. It's disgusting. One of your weirdo websites, Pete.
All right, hold on. Let me. Can I record? Will it stop? I want to test. I'm gonna try to record test. I'm on 1945.
We'll 3, 2, 1 again on our audio, so we'll have a.
Well, I want to be able to listen to it back and make sure it's good.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no. I'm saying you can record and test it because we're gonna 3, 2, 1 when we start anyway, so we'll have a time for Mike.
It won't. I hit record and it said error opening recording device.
All right, so save this file separately and then just start a brand new one, and Mike can stitch it.
Just export it.
Yeah, or just
God damn it.
yeah, export that one.
Fucking episode 94. Part 1.
I need.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I'm thinking. Don't even worry about it. How dare you let this happen again?
Oh
No, I just saw a post from Macbeth.
Oh, Mike, I was gonna ask you, is Semi-Exact a sponsor this week?
Why
No,
not?
I don't want to say that the sponsor.
No, okay. So I'm just
They
gonna
didn't
list
pay
them in
that.
there.
I want to say that they. I want to mention and thank them, but I don't want to say they're the sponsor.
Got you. Well, I got their Kickstarter in there.
We're doing content for them on their channels and throwing. It's almost separate from the pod, but this is like an on top thing, I guess. I'm not getting shit out of this, to be honest. So it's mostly for you guys. So
Appreciate it.
Well, you're getting.
I just
You're
want,
getting
I just want
us
you
out
guys to
of
come
it.
out. I know. I want you guys to come out. That's like the thing I'm getting out of it. Luna was a mess when we came home. She was so much.
What do you do with Luna when that happens?
My in-laws came in the morning and Matt came at night just to check on her. Robin's mom would come here for like an hour and a half, 2 hours and play with her and feed her, and she's retired. Matt was coming here in the evenings. The first night he came and hung out for about an hour and a half. The next night he just was here for a few minutes, and we put her in the garage, and I had one of those radiant oil heaters in there because it was like it's like 27 every morning right now. It's really cold.
All right, I'm killing Audacity. I exported the file. I called it part 1.
Pete, also, I meant to tell you, the only downside is that in here in the office is that Robin has to start work at like 10 every morning. So you're not going to be able to sleep in super late. So
Oh, that's fine. I'm assuming we're gonna be
hold
up
on.
by
I'm
like
going to call from Ken.
9
Hold on.
latest. Yeah.
Hey, what's up? Good. Just recording the podcast. No, it's all right. What's up? I've never even heard of the Pros. Is that one of their pneumatic ones? Oh yeah, I don't get that. Yep. I'll talk to you. Yeah. Or what are you guys doing? Gay. No, I'm just kidding. That sounds like a lot of fun. That's
Testing,
great.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Well, they're flying in Wednesday, so
All right, I'm good.
yeah, I don't know when you're around, but when's family out of there? Oh, cool. Well, maybe I'll have to. I think we're having a small maker meetup at the property here on Saturday. If you want to come? We're just gonna burn. Yeah, we're just gonna burn stuff and hang out. I'll probably have the podcast order some pizzas or something. Oh, I actually need to see if Macbeth wants to pay for that. Anyway, I'll talk to you later. I'll tell the guys. All right, bye.
All right.
Yeah, you had a question about the Merca.
Okay. I'm good to go if you guys are.
Are you good to go? All right, let's do a.
I tested it.
You tested it?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do a 3, 2, 1. Is your just? I'm sure you tested it. Just is your input good? Is it on the right tool
Everything's good.
or whatever it's called?
I am the right tool.
3, 2, 1. Record.
Recording.
All right, we're back. We had a little technical difficulty there. Well, I don't know what I was talking about. Something about Christmas. Oh, I had that little snafu with the customer build, and but yeah, I'm getting back in. I'm really excited to be back home. We got home last night about 8 or 9 o'clock, I think, and slept in my own bed. Man, getting back home to your own stuff, it's real nice. Like yes. Traveling's great, but man, I love getting back home to my own stuff. It's definitely, I'm a creature of habit for sure. So I can't wait to spend the day tomorrow, kind of work on the property. I'm taking another day off from the shop, taking a day off from the shop on Sunday as well. And then Monday, I've got Sean coming over to help with, we've got like 3 projects we need to plow through before Dan and Pete get here. So that's the plan. We got to get those done quick. Actually, Sean's got to deliver one about 2 hours north of here on Tuesday. So we got to actually get that done Monday. I just realized. Anyway, busy week ahead. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to having these guys out here. We'll talk more about that here in a bit. But Pete, how was your week?
Week was pretty busy. Definitely took like Christmas off. So basically Thursday, once I clocked out of work, through Sunday, I did not go in a shop unless I wanted to and just kind of relax. We had some friends over one day. They had like a little ornament making party. I've been making ornaments nonstop for the last 3 weeks, and well, not nonstop, but feels like nonstop because like all those little cuts, they add up. Especially Mike, you know, on that laser when you're cutting through stuff, like it takes a while. It's like if I'm doing a full sheet, it's like a 30-40 minute cut. So been getting a lot of those together. I posted some stories. I had a lot of people inquire about getting some, so I've been shipping them out, selling them to people. And the reason I originally did it is because we were doing that big family order. So Emma's aunt commissioned me to make some custom ornaments for the family. So everyone in her family, not my family, got one, which is pretty cool. So everyone's pretty excited, and I got to kind of do my part for the entire family, which is pretty dope. So I did a lot of that. Actually need to ship some to Canada as well. Shipping some to Vic because he wants some for his wife. Oh, Canada, Montana.
Yeah, my
Friends
favorite
of
Canada.
North Montana.
Montana. Yeah,
America's hat.
It's Trudeau's birthplace. I'm pretty sure that's true. So aside from working on ornaments, I've been working on that big CNC job and been getting them, kind of knocked out. I only have one more sheet to cut of those handles, and I broke 2 bits already. One just like snapped at like a 1/4 inch pass, not even. It was a 4 mil pass and just snapped at some point. I talked to Amon, our tools today. They recommended that I go with there's a big brother version of the 46202, which has a full 1 inch
515 or whatever.
It's 46203. No, it's like 516, I think. 46516.
It's
and
not
that is
515?
no. It's not a bigger, longer.
No, it's
cutting.
longer. It's not a 7/8. It's a full inch cutting. Yeah.
Yeah, and that actually did a pretty good job. They think it heated up when it was going at full depth, and that's why it snapped right at the end of the cutting flute. So the new one was great, and then I had a piece just come loose. The tabs broke. I think what happened is for some reason even though I leveled my bed, I think there's a dip in one spot, and it was going a lot deeper, which means the tabs were a lot smaller, and the tabs just broke loose, and it took a bit with it. So yay, like they're gonna replace it, which is pretty dope. And then I was going
what I think your bed's good. Wouldn't that mean the sheet is
no,
up?
it's actually like in my bed.
It's not warped up.
I see like where it was cutting through perfectly, and then there's like a deeper spot, like one spot where it's like cut a lot deeper, and then there's a spot in the back
gantry is sagging.
No, it's not my gantry. It's when I flattened the bed, I stuck it down with double-sided tape, and I think it lifted in some spots. So it wasn't actually even. I need to reflatten my bed.
So on the sides where it's higher, it's
it's like higher in the back.
I understand.
Or it's actually lower in the back because I think those came up initially when it was flattening, and when I like properly sat them down, the bed's lower now. So whatever, that's something I just gotta fix. But either way, it's still cutting through. So I just need to thicken up my my tabs. It's just gonna be a little more cleanup. And I went on a search for a corded trim router because usually, you know, we're going with cordless in most cases. I have that Ryobi one and it's great, but that sucker is heavy with that big battery on it. And also it would kill the battery in like 15 minutes of use. You know, you just got to swap it out. I only have 2 batteries. So I was doing a lot of research and asking people in the community, and basically it was like split down the middle between all of the like 4 major ones. So it was like obviously the DeWalt, the Rigid, the Makita, and a lot of people recommended Bosch. I like Bosch routers. I think they're pretty beefy. I've never played around with their trim routers. I chose the DeWalt one, the big one that you guys recommended, and I know that one is great. It was sold out everywhere post holidays. So was the Rigid and the Makita. And I know the Makita has the switch issue where eventually it just kind of rattles itself loose, right, Dan? Like, yeah. So I ended up going with the Bosch, and I am so happy. Oh my God, this little router, it does not slow down at all. I'm putting it, so I'm actually doing full passes on those pieces, and I'm cutting them freehand. Instead of using the table, I'm just cutting them around, doing full 3/8 passes with the roundover bit. No issues whatsoever. Doesn't even bog down. So I love this freaking thing. Worth every penny. It was $150, I think. So pretty stoked for that. So I just need to finish a couple more. I got about 20 pairs of them done, of those like, so they're ice climbing training tools. They're gonna have like leather straps for spanking and like grabbing onto holds at a gym.
Nice.
You know, it's versatile. It's multi-use tool.
Gym stuff.
Gym stuff. Yeah, you know, gym rats. And so I got about 20 pairs. We got them all sanded. I need to do a lot of laser work now because I got to get all the logos and everything lasered. So I'm going to get that knocked out probably this weekend and early next week so I can deliver a bunch of these before we go out to California. Or I go out to California. Damn. And yeah, that it feels pretty good to like start knocking that project out because that's good money. And initially, obviously, there was some drama with it, but now I got my processes set up for everything. There's a good flow for everything. Feels really good, and it's been nice to get in the shop this last week. I just feel like I'm like really in control, and I cannot stress again how amazing those stupid Husky tables are. Those like adjustable height tables. That thing is a godsend. Having it in my shop is so nice. Having all my tools that I use all the time in it because it's got the little drawers. Highly recommend it. If you see it on sale, snag it. Aside from that, if you're watching the video, you'll see that I am in a bunker somewhere in New Jersey recording. This is my basement because I had to give up my room. So since we recorded the last podcast, my parents sold their house, closed on it. Everything was done with that. They moved into my office, so that became another bedroom, and I'm back in the print shop. So in my 3D printing space, and I guess speaking of 3D printing, I'm getting a 4th printer. It just got shipped on Thursday. It's going to be here next Thursday when I'm not here, unfortunately. But I'm gonna have the 4th one and set it up there and
so
have a
the
nice
parent
farm.
situation, that's temporary, correct?
Yeah. They're getting all their affairs in order before they ship out. Their house should be ready. They should be handing over keys to like raw state houses because like condominiums in January, and then my brother is going to go in with his crew, and because he's got a contracting business, so he's going to come in with his crew and get the whole place, you know, decked out, livable, painted, appliances, all that fun stuff.
What place?
The place in Poland?
My parents' new house that they're
in
going
Poland.
In Poland, yeah. They bought a house.
Okay, I was very confused.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
I
So yeah, they're
apologize.
having a condominium built over there. So they're getting one of the units, and it's almost done at this point. So they're staying here for the
What
next
floor?
couple of weeks. I don't know, 2 maybe. I don't know. It's like short. They're like, I think.
Not
only 2
story.
or
It's like
3
what
stories.
floor is it?
What do you mean?
Like, is it an apartment or like what is a condo? Is a condo like a bunch of small houses connected to each other? I don't even know what that is.
It's I guess in this case it's.
I was just
like,
saying it's perfect for
Yeah.
older people, like
Well, 'cause
those
they don't-
houses
they
that don't
don't
have
want-
a yard to deal with and stuff.
they-
That's perfect.
which is
But if they have
weird
to be on,
'cause
like the
they'll-
5th floor, that would suck.
No. It's they're only 2 stories.
They're ground floor.
Yeah, it's
Oh, I
like
gotcha.
ground
Okay.
floor and,
It's like a
and that's all
townhouse kind of thing.
garages. Yeah, it's a townhouse, I guess. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
But it's
Okay.
not a multi-story.
That's
You
cool.
just get like the floor. So you might have neighbors below
Right.
you, and I think they're upstairs on a 2nd floor. But it's gonna be great for them. I'm surprised they didn't want a yard because they're always in the yard doing like landscaping.
Nah, they don't want a yard that age. Come on, they just want to chill out.
I don't want a
Give your
yard
dad
at my age.
sander.
They're
Send 'em
gonna
a
be
bunch of scraps.
so bored. But luckily having my dad here has been nice because he loves sanding. That man loves sanding. So he's been helping out in the shop a little bit, and they're getting all their stuff organized. They're going through like old paperwork, shredding all of it, and all this fun stuff. So my basement, like behind this wall, is like all their stuff that they still need to go through before they pack it up. And they got a big container. Put both cars in there, put all their stuff, and it's gonna get shipped out. So that's gonna be happening in about 3 weeks, 3 weeks to a month tops. So exciting. A lot of stuff happening, a lot of stuff with my family the last couple of weeks. So that's why I've been kind of like MIA and a little slower on social media. It's just been, I mean, Mike, you know, when you're closing one house and setting up the next one. Like when we moved the first time, that was chaotic because we're just getting everything set up here, but we weren't dealing with a sale at the same time. So having to deal with the sale and get everything set up for them, it's been crazy. And then yesterday got my booster. Actually, me and my parents got our boosters, and we got laid out on our butts today. I'm actually very sore. Feels like I got punched by a very strong girl on my arm. It hurts.
Tongue punched.
Yep. And yeah, I'm feeling it today, but you know, got to get it done. And we got some fireworks in PA, so I'm pretty stoked for that. Hopefully we can set some off today.
Isn't that against the law to have in Jersey?
I don't know what you're talking about. They're like sparklers and snaps and stuff. Definitely nothing that shoots up in the air and goes pop.
Okay.
It isn't. No, definitely is not.
I cannot wait to see the stories tonight of pizza property on fire.
I don't know what you're talking
It's so
about.
great. This is a huge mistake.
My neighbor, who's a cop, and a couple towns over, like 4th of July, we're just like sitting on the back deck and just out of
His
nowhere,
jurisdiction.
just bottle rockets just going off, and we're like, oh, free show. This is awesome. So.
Well, if a cop does it, it's got to be fine.
Well, yeah, of course, yeah. It's
how it
legal
works.
for him. It's legal for me. Aside from that, Etsy's been nuts. Etsy's been insane. I have a bunch of orders behind me that are packed up, bunch that have to get packed up, bunch that are printed out. I need to get organized. So it's been a good month. I always love how like this, you know, because I don't take on a lot of commissions. So like this 2 months or 2.5 months from like mid-October to like first week in January, like basically builds up the coffers a little bit with some money for the next couple months to, you know, buy tools or invest in things or whatever. So it's pretty good. Feels pretty good. But let's get in why don't we get in the show?
Yeah, let's get those questions here.
Oh yeah, well, I didn't talk about my gift. I got a new mic because Coffee's an old mic.
Getting old.
You can see it back there. It's a Shure mic. I got one for Emma and I got one for myself. So I'm very, very excited to get that installed because hers sounds outstanding. It sounds so good. So I'm much excited. And then a couple other little things.
So
but that's
basically,
the thing I'm
Mike
excited
and I are going to have to get new mics.
No, you might not have to. I
I'm
need
really
all the
happy
help
with
I
my
can
mic.
get.
Sounds amazing.
My voice is nails on a chalkboard, so I need it. But I got like a
Okay.
deep baritone.
Should
we go into questions? Baritone, yeah, baritone. Roar.
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 candy?
Yeah, baritone.
All right, let's get into some questions here.
Yeah, let's
This
get into
first
some
question
questions.
is from Ed. Called in with 2, which I think is against the law, but we like Ed, so here's Ed.
We missed a week. We'll allow it.
Hey gents, it's Ed Mancini from E&J Creations Woodworks. So my question for you guys as we all end 2021 and you look back on your year, I was just wondering from each of you, what would be the thing that you focus on for 2022 and some goals that you have set personally or professionally in woodworking as you go through the next year and prepare. Thanks a lot. I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, you enjoy time with your friends and family, and we'll talk to you guys another time.
Dan, what's your 2022 plans with Daniel Dunlap Woodworks? And the
Keep
photography
growing,
business, actually.
keep
The
growing,
mustache.
keep making money, and try not to go backwards. I don't really set goals at the end of the year for the next year. I like to take things like one thing at a time and try to improve upon what I'm doing currently. I don't know. I'm weird like that, I guess. I just don't. I'm not a goal oriented person when it comes to stuff like that. I know that sounds weird. I like to grow and improve, but I'm just not. I don't like to set goals. Does that make sense?
No, yeah.
Yeah.
You just celebrate the wins, but you don't.
If you're happy, you're happy.
Plan 'em
That's
out.
what matters.
Yeah. I'm happy. Pete.
Yeah.
For me, Looking back in this year, I finally got a lot of my like dream setups. I got my dream printing space. I got my dream shop, until the next dream shop, obviously. But it I'm excited to see where the business is going to go. I'm really heavily looking at different ideas of automation and passive incomes with 3D printing and CNC laser and files and other things. So I definitely want to get more into some kind of strategy for passive income. I've been working on my website very seldom, but I need to finish up my website, get that going. And then there's some, another like personal goal is me and Emma actually want to start a podcast. I want to start doing a little recording just for fun and see if it goes anywhere, just to give it a shot. And that was one of the reasons we got the mics. Well, she also does a lot of meetings and Zooms and stuff. So figured treat her and treat me. So we both got the new mics. So I'm excited for that. And I want to, now that I'm finally settled and things are kind of calming down, although once my parents leave, it's going to be way more calm. We want to start like just punch the year in the face, start doing some content, really, really getting after doing videos and she wants to do a blog. And so a lot of it is going to be working together. We're actually going to be kind of merging certain parts of our businesses, which is pretty cool. So just, yeah, like Dan said, just grow. It's nothing like a particular goal of like, I want to hit this or whatever. I want to hit 40,000 followers on Instagram. I'll give you a hard goal. But that's about it. Mike, what about you? I want to hear your goals for next year. Now that you got the shop.
I am very goal oriented, and I have definitely thought about this. So for me, for next year, my focus is again scaling. This is another focus of mine for the year because I want to keep on taking more and bigger projects on. And that means, and I'm able to do that now more than ever with the property. With the scaling part of it comes staffing. I am basically at the point where now I need to start treating Sean like an employee, basically there now. So I need to have that conversation with the CPA soon. And my cousin Matt, I want to bring him on as well. So it's navigating through all that right now. The conversations have already been started. So we're just trying to figure out what that means. We're trying to figure out what I'm going to be changing my entity from a sole prop to probably an S Corp, which is going to be interesting, but I'm also going to still keep the Coffee Custom Builds DBA because another thing that I didn't do this in 2021 that I meant to do is I am going to go get my my cabinetry and millwork contractor's license probably on Monday. So I'm getting way too much, cabinet jobs that I need to turn down because I can't do them because I can't install them. So it makes me not able to do them. Sean actually has a lot of experience in that. He was a framer for a long time and he worked in a production mill shop for years. So he knows how all that goes. So I'm going to start chasing more of that stuff. I'm actually chasing one right now. I don't think I talked to you guys about that. I'm chasing one right now. It's a big kitchen remodel and they understand my situation. And if I get it, I basically have to get my cabinetry business license or my contractor's license. So I'm working on that right now. And,
what's that process like for getting one of those? Is it just like you apply for something, you got to take a test or something?
State. Yeah, it's different from state to state. But for my state, which is California, you have to go with the California State Licensing Board, and you have to show experience in the trades, which I was fortunate to work at my family's business for 6 years, so I can use that experience. I can get 2 references. I do have to pass a test, and I have to get bonded, which I'm already insured. The bond isn't too big of a deal. It's like a $12,500 bond. That's going to stay in the DBA because I want that for me. I don't want the Coffee Custom Builds S Corp business entity to hold that license because if anything ever happens to that, I still want to hold that license. So Mike Coffee will hold that license. So it's a process. I don't think it's going to go quick, but I got to start it right away because there's a lot of work that I want to start going after. And cabinetry, built-in stuff, there's a lot of money there. And I don't want to leave it on the table, especially if I can bring on the staff to be able to do it and funnel that work and revenue through my business. I'm going to do it. So the other thing is networking has always worked out so well for me. I'm going to continue to do that. I want to continue to build those relationships with vendors and interior designers are a huge relationship builder. I mean, not just huge, they're a huge business builder for me, especially for what I'm doing, and dealing with vendors, other trades guys and gals, and interior designers, trying to reach out locally to businesses and trying to establish myself as a business that's got a good reputation and stuff. That's what I'm trying to do. And that kind of goes into this other side, which is coffee farms. The reason we're doing coffee farms is we want to have a well-established, there's a lot of sentiment that follows along with a Christmas tree farm. We've had a lot of people since we moved here come to the gate. We keep our gate closed to our property just because I don't want people coming on here. And we have a lot of people go like, hey, we want to come buy a tree. And it's like, we don't have trees for you. We're sorry. And they're like, man, we've been coming here for 25 plus years for Christmas trees. And it's like, I'm sorry, I don't have trees. You know, people want to keep coming back here. So we are doing the Christmas tree farm because we want to, one, it sounds really fun. Like it really does sound like a super fun thing. We are only going to be in business, air quotes, 60 days of the year, really. Maybe after November 1st, we'll open up, or right after Halloween. We'll be working throughout the year, but it's not like daily grind kind of stuff. Like if we don't get to it one weekend in May, we can finish it up in June. You know, we're not going to have customers showing up for Christmas trees in the beginning of June. You know, there's things, it's a lot less busy. It's a lot less nose to the grindstone stuff like it is with the coffee custom builds and stuff. I like have to stay on a schedule with coffee custom builds to keep it growing. I can't like mosey about. It doesn't work that way. Like it just doesn't grow if I'm not like constantly chasing it, which I really like doing that stuff. So it's not a big deal, but with the farm, it's a lot more fun. But the point is with the farm is we're going to be able to establish our business in this local community, which is, it's going to do it much easier than coffee custom builds is. Cause the bottom line is Christmas time comes around. Everyone needs a Christmas tree. Any time of the year, not many people want to spend a lot of money on custom woodworking. It's really hard to get customers. It's a lot of work. It's not like crazy lucrative. I mean, it can be if you follow hard trends like the epoxy tables and stuff. You can make some crazy money on that stuff if you do it. And I'm not opposed to doing that. More and more, I'm just kind of like chasing the money there for sure because I want to keep my business going and growing. But with the tree farm, we're going to focus on that a lot. And my wife's going to start focusing on a lot of that because we want to establish ourselves in the community, establish ourselves with other businesses in the community, which is also selfishly going to cross promote coffee custom builds. And it's going to be like a double-edged sword of like cross marketing with each other. So, and we get to have another source of income off our property, which is really for my wife and I, the goal. Like we really want to, my wife has a very good job, but for me, like I really, in a way that I've never thought would ever happen in my life, I really want to make money off the thing I own, which is my property, like living, like it's almost like a farmer, you know, like we make the joke about the pine farmer, but like, yeah, but like you own this thing and it makes you money and you can sustain a living off that. That sounds great. Like I don't have to work for someone else. Sign me up. Like I just want that. Like
as long as it's
like,
not
this is what's so
too
exciting.
much work, obviously in your case.
That's my end goal with,
man.
But it can't cut into your woodworking business. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's my end goal with any business I have. I just don't want to work for anybody else.
Yeah. I mean, it's not going to cut into my woodworking business. No, but for the 2 months, Christmas tree farms are crazy lucrative. Yeah. They make really good money. But the other thing is it's also like a hobby for me. Like I really like working on my property and improving it and making it look, turning it into, I mean, how many people own a Christmas tree farm? That's pretty cool. I mean, it's kind of silly, but it's also kind of cool. Like you come home to a Christmas tree farm. That's kind of nice. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of like positives. Obviously there's a lot of work involved, but I've never been afraid of work. It's not a big deal. I'm excited to do it all. So there's a lot of stuff planned for 2022. And I didn't even think about content. And that kind of speaks to where my brain is with content these days. Like content's really an important part of my income. Like it supplements a decent amount of my income. Instagram is basically dead for me. Like I don't see much, Instagram growth is not there for me. I'm going to keep doing Instagram. I'm not walking away from Instagram by any means. I love that community. When inevitably Instagram turns into Facebook, which is a statement a lot of content creators make, when eventually it kind of becomes the platform of the previous generation, like Facebook has become, it's going to be kind of sad because there's no other community. There's no other spot where there's a woodworking community presence like there is on Instagram. Even with all the woodworkers who are big on YouTube, they always go back to Instagram because you can talk so quickly and directly with your people there, or you're following or whatever. There's a real community. They don't have that on YouTube. But with that said, I said this last year, and it didn't happen because I got so focused on taking coffee custom builds full time, is I'm really going to focus on YouTube for 2022. I have a book right here of my YouTube ideas. And I have a bunch of these video ideas and I have outlines and I'm planning and I've got these things going on and I really want to chase YouTube hard because even with me having not put a video on YouTube, I'm still seeing gains over there, you know,
That's good.
and I grind my nuts off for stupid Instagram.
That
I
sounds
do the
painful.
same stuff I've done. Yeah. I do the same stuff I've done for years over there. It's just dead. There's just a switch flipped off right now. And some people get that switch left on. I mean, I'm talking to other guys who had seen 2 to 3 years of flat lines. And they're like, I'm not doing anything different that I've done in 3 years. And all of a sudden they're seeing crazy growth. And I'm like, happy for them for sure. But it's like, it's just too uncontrollable over there. It's Wild West, you know? And it's fine. I mean, I love that community, like I said, but like, I can't let, like, Instagram would run a good 6 to 7 hours of my day before, you know, I would invest lots of time into Instagram and I just can't put the time there anymore. I'll put time into there because I have deals with brands to make money, but YouTube is where I want to be. When I spend that week putting a YouTube video together and I release that, if that thing gets very little views, it feels better than when a video on Instagram doesn't get very many views. It just feels better. I don't know why. It feels like, because the
it's also evergreen content
reels
on there, unlike Instagram.
Well, it's not just that. It's not the money in there. It's just, I don't like reels. They're so short. You can't convey anything. It's all super fast consumable. It's these like quick, like jump clothing change, like cutscene things like, oh, you jump and you're wearing a different outfit. It's too quick. There's no way to convey. You can't teach anyone anything. I don't care. Like it's not enjoyable anymore. Like those videos, like it's just catering to a very short attention span. Yeah. That's all it is. That's all Reels has become, is this catering to this very short attention span. And I really miss the longer format videos on Instagram. Like those were doing well for a long time. And for me, I got lucky because I liked making those videos and they were doing well at the time. And then my account grew because of that. Yeah. Now they're not what does it. So when I put a video that's longer than like 13 seconds on Reel, actually all my videos just kind of die, but you know, it's just not as rewarding as it used to be. And I'm like, oh man, I'm not only is the video not doing well, but it's not even a video I like making. And that's what kind of sucks. Whereas with YouTube, I like making the video. So if it doesn't do very well, I don't really care because I did it for me. Yeah. You know what I mean? Where like with Instagram, I feel like I'm chasing an algorithm super hard.
Well, the good news is we got in on a ground floor on Space Hay, so we're going to be fine.
Yeah, yes. We're huge on Space Hay. Can't wait till they monetize.
Yep.
No, but so that was a super long answer. I'm really sorry. That was way longer than I should have gone. But that's my plan for 2022. And I think everyone answered, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So the next question is also from Ed. Yep. I'm going to play Ed's next question right now.
Hey guys, this is Ed Mancini again from E&J Creations Woodworks. So I had another question that kind of just came to mind. So if you were in this situation, what would you do? So I'm getting ready to retire from the military after 20 plus years, and I'm looking at, you know, doing woodworking kind of on the side, potentially growing it into you know, a larger business over time. But I have an opportunity to do somewhat of an internship with a established woodworking business in town. However long that internship is, would you take the opportunity to do internship or even potentially employment with an already established woodworking business and take that time to learn from them? Or would you just jump right into, you know, woodworking on your own business, just start and go and see what happens? Tell me your thoughts. I look forward to hearing. Again, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and we'll talk to you next time.
I'm going to go first. You're retiring from the military. Very rigid structure. Thank you for your service, for one. Very rigid structure. People telling you what to do for however many years you've been in the military, all day long. My guess is that when you retire, and I'm not close to retirement age, so I could just be some guy talking out his butt. My guess is that you probably don't want to have people telling you what to do after you retire anymore. That's my guess. So if it was me, and I just talked about wanting to grow my business off my property so I don't have to work for someone else, that's why I was never in the military, is because I can't handle people telling me what to do. I would not go work for someone else. If I was retiring, I would, if I had the time to learn on my own, which I don't know if, based on the conversations I've had with you, Ed, I don't think you actually need to get your business going this way. I think you would like to see your woodworking business go that way. I think if you're doing it to kind of follow the path and enjoy the process and enjoy the moment, I think you just kind of learn it as you go and figure it out. Now, if you actually really want to get your business going as fast as humanly possible and you want to get a shop going, I think that, yeah, you go work for someone else and let them teach you. But I think you're going to find that learning from someone else is very good, but you're also learning how they did it. And you're not going to learn it the way you would have learned it. And you might end up learning the thing. You might end up learning it the same way. Like you might learn it from like YouTube or social media, like a lot of us have done. And you might end up learning the same thing that guy taught you, or more traditional way of doing it. But man, when you learn it on your own, it's pretty cool. Like when you figure out something on your own, it's pretty cool way. That's just my opinion. Dan, I know you hate being told what to do.
I do hate being told what to do, but you know
Dan,
what?
give us an answer now.
Stop it. I don't like that. I actually had the opportunity to do something sort of an internship with another local woodworker. We did have an agreement on how I would be paid. It wasn't an unpaid internship, but you know what? I think if you have the opportunity to do something like that and you have the capability, you're going to be retiring from the military, so I would assume that you're going to have a paycheck coming still. I say do it. I think the benefits outweigh the negatives. And go ahead.
I do want to, after you're done, I do want to addendum to mine because in general, I want to say I agree with Dan. If you have the opportunity to have someone teach you how to do woodworking, do it. But I think for Ed's situation as a guy who's retiring, I hear all these stories, these guys retiring, like, I'm going to go work at like a golf course, or I'm going to go work at like as a greeter at like a hardware store or whatever. They all end up hating it because they don't want to work for someone else. But anyway, but overall, I want to say right off the bat, I do want to say overall for
maybe this is
people, I agree.
Maybe this is more of, a general statement and not just directed towards Ed entirely.
Fair.
If you have the opportunity to go do an internship, I say do it. The positives outweigh the negatives. I had the opportunity to do it with a local woodworker here. His name was Jameson. He has a business called Wood Chaser, and it was great. I learned a lot. I have said in the past that I've worked in a woodworking capacity since 1997, but it hasn't always been furniture. So I got to learn quite a bit about networking and getting together with other local makers and figuring stuff out. I had a very great learning experience. So I say do it. I do agree with Mike in that it was hard for me because I don't like taking orders from other people. That's why I've been self-employed since 2011. I cannot stand having people tell me what to do. Even in the comments on Instagram or TikTok, when people are telling me that I'm wrong at something, it irritates me. I want to snap back at them so much, but I try to keep it under control. That's just how much I hate. I hate being told what to do. So I can relate to that. But if you want to make something out of your business, I think it's a good idea to maybe, go learn from somebody else for a short period of time. Obviously not forever. Pete.
So I'm going to start off by saying that, Ed, you're plenty talented already. Like, I've seen your work. You're not starting out. I don't think you're at a stage where you need someone to teach you the major basics, all this stuff. That being said, you're in a very unique situation, and, retiring from the military, I'm assuming you're going to be, like Dan said, receiving some kind of pension or retirement check that is hopefully enough to sustain you, which you would not need to work, which gives you a kind of a leverage in this situation. If this furniture shop or woodworking business, whatever it is, if they're looking for an apprentice or whatever, like, have the conversation with them kind of on the same level, not applying as like an intern at a
Yeah.
business, but just tell
Let
them like,
let them know what your goals are.
yeah, like, hey,
with that
I've been
situation.
woodworking for a while now. I'm retired from the military. I'd love to, help you out occasionally, work a little bit. We can do something paid, or maybe just like me coming in here to help out. Whatever, you need to figure out how you want to handle that and how much the education is worth to you. And basically lay your cards out on the table. Tell him that, I'm not like, I'm not coming here to sand for you for the next 6 months until I graduate to applying finish. Like, you need to say that out of the gate. You need to kind of,
Right.
obviously you don't have to be the stern, but once you have a good conversation, good report, I think it's worth taking a shot. Because the worst case scenario, they say like, no, I need a guy to just be cutting and joining lumber for the next like month, and like maybe that's not what you need. But I think if you have the conversation, you'll be pleasantly surprised by what they're willing to offer you, and come at it with being on almost equal grounds. Where like, I have skills that I can offer, and I'd love to pick up your business skills, and you can both benefit. Don't think of it as you're the only one to benefit from it. Plus, right now, with the way the job market is and with COVID and everything, they're probably pretty desperate for help and might be willing to be a lot more flexible with whatever. And at the end of the day, it's just a good conversation to have with a local business, because you might send some business to them, maybe they'll send some business to you or something. Having that relationship, I think, is very important. But you're in a very unique situation where you can kind of negotiate that, and not get taken advantage of, like working for the man, working with the man. That makes sense.
Makes
Yeah.
sense. Ish.
Yeah. But good on you,
All right.
man. Good on you, Ed.
Chase it, Ed. The next one is from Moses Cho.
The chosen
Moses.
one.
Hey, gentlemen. My name is Moses with Chosen Craft Co. So a couple weeks ago, I was listening to the podcast, and oh, by the way, Happy New Year.
Happy New
So a
Year's.
couple weeks ago, I was listening to the podcast, and we have talked about this, or you guys have talked about it, actually, without me, but that's okay, about contracts. And, just me starting out and finally sending some invoices and all that, and getting some work online. I have QuickBooks. It's amazing. But does that have any feature / attachment thing that you could do to send contracts? But even more of a deeper question, I just wanted to know what you guys used as far as contracts. And because I know my wife, she's a photographer, and she actually purchased like a contract template for photographers from like a lawyer, and everything is like professional, and she is pretty much backed up with that contract, and it's so important. Anyways, before I make this too long, you guys get the point. But if you guys have any suggestions of where you get those things, and or how like safe you want to make it, that'll be amazing. Thanks, guys.
Anyone want to go?
Yep.
I can
I'll go first, because
answer the QuickBooks.
I'm gonna
Okay.
be probably the shortest answer. But I don't handle any contracts right now. That is something that's crossed my mind. And your wife did the right thing. Is just like, hit up, if you have a lawyer that maybe you've dealt with or something, talk to them and have them write something up for you. It's going to cost you a couple $100, but you're going to have that for as long as you have your business, and you can have customers sign that, obviously on case by case basis. You might not need it for a cutting board, but you might need it for a table. So I think that's a great idea. And it's something that I will be pursuing myself within the next couple months as I'm taking on some larger jobs. But as far as if you're not doing a contract, just get anything and everything you can in writing. Even in QuickBooks, when I do the invoicing, I write up a ton of stuff in that invoice, as like kind of explaining the job and expectations, so that there isn't a question about it. It's obviously not a contract, but at least some expectations are set. And by having them pay it or pay a deposit, they kind of acknowledge that they read that. Obviously not a binding contract, but I think it's a good idea. Who wants to go next? Dan?
I'll go. QuickBooks does not have a contract thing built into it. You can attach contracts to invoices with a little paperclip there before you send. You can also, I believe, I might be making this up, but I'm almost certain you can add a footer to your invoices where you can drop some legal jargon in there It'll basically be on like the bottom side of the document or back side of the document. So, but there's no contract widget or anything like that built in. I can't imagine they'd be able to do anything like that. That put QuickBooks into like legal nightmare.
Yeah.
Get with a lawyer and have them draw you up a contract. And you guys will have to have some conversations about what that needs to entail or not entail. But if you're really wanting a contract, have one made, pay the money. And that's really all I have to say about that. So I can send mine through, I use Jobber for invoicing, but when I was using QuickBooks through invoicing, I can send mine through there as well with that paperclip. It's just an attachment to the email document. So,
And you could sign up for
Dan?
DocuSign and just send out a link and have people sign it digitally as well.
yeah, and you can go to LegalZoom to find some boilerplate contracts. It might
Yeah.
not apply to your
But they're
your
easily
trade.
editable.
Yeah, everything's
Yeah.
editable. So, Dan,
So, as a photographer, I use contracts for weddings because weddings are not repeatable. They're a one and done thing. You can't do them over, and unless you're going to shell out a bunch of money to repay for the whole
that's
wedding.
weird. I
Nobody-
have.
Nobody's doing that. As a photographer,
Wow.
nobody's doing that. But for smaller jobs, I don't use contracts when it comes to photography. And with that said, I don't use contracts when it comes to my woodworking either, because if something goes wrong, I can remake the thing. Now, if I were if I were doing business with big commercial clients, there would definitely be contracts involved, because that's just one thing that one business does for another business, I believe. But all my clients are residential clients or single people, not single people, just like one person
Right.
entity.
Singles only.
Singles
Daniel
only.
Dunlap Woodworks, singles
Singles
only.
only.
I only make furniture for single moms. So.
Person to person, basically. I don't do contracts with those types of clients. But like Pete said, try to get everything in writing as much as possible, emails, texts, what have you. That way you at least have some sort of thing in writing so you can go back to and go, look, this is what we agreed on. As far as QuickBooks, I'm not familiar. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go back a few questions. One of my goals this year is going to be getting things more organized, and I think I'm going to use QuickBooks.
Dude, I'll do it with you while you're here. Let's do it.
All right.
Do you want to do it
Yes.
while you're here? Let's do it.
Yeah.
It's so
I'm
great.
down.
It's $25 a month, dude. That's
Yeah.
what, 30 or 40 bow ties? Would you sell them for 99 you sell
Yeah,
you'll pay for it in no time.
Yeah,
like
no,
it's
it's
so
worth it.
worth it, man. We can
My
get you
wife
set
and
up, man.
my wife and I need to sit down and go through all our taxes, our income, and I got a
Don't even deal with it
box-
for 2020.
I got a box of
Just do
receipts.
2022.
Yeah, for next year.
Yeah, this
Dude,
is going to
we'll
be
do
for
it.
next year.
Let's
This
do
is
it,
gonna be
dude.
for next year.
Let's do it.
Oh, yeah.
Seriously, let's do it. This whole trip's going to be a write-off. You got to save all this stuff.
Like,
I mean,
you
you got
want to back off. He doesn't like to be told what to
Absolutely.
do. He doesn't like to be told what
Yeah.
to do. Just back off a bit.
Yeah.
No,
ask
I'm here to
me.
help him. He knows this is a place of love.
No,
I'm not telling him.
I'm
what to
down
do.
because I want to.
asking
I
you
want to
help
see
him.
how you handle the back end, Giggity. Of your stuff too. Because I have
Braid it.
QuickBooks,
Well,
but
there's
I
a
only
rag
started
next to your
playing around
bed.
with it.
There's-
So
you want to know how I handle that?
I think I answered the question. I don't know.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
All
All right.
It's so
Do
long.
we have
ago.
any more?
Then yeah, one more from Tommy G.
What?
Tommy G
That's
has
right.
this to say: ask last question.
Don't tell me what to do, Tom.
Hey guys, Thomas Gojkovic here from the Tommy G charcuterie board template on Etsy. I'm sure you've heard of it. Today my question is about finishing cutting boards and charcuterie boards. So I made a few this holiday season for people, and when I wrapped them up with my craft paper, no matter how much I wipe them down with a dry cloth, some of the wax would still show up on the craft paper. It would still kind of seep through, and to somebody who's not a woodworker, it looks kind of like the package is greasy. So not a big deal, but I don't know what you guys do to prevent that from happening. Do you put a couple layers of craft paper or what? So second question, what have you sold the most of this holiday season? And I'm guessing one of your answers is going to start with a B and rhyme with schmoties, but I thought I'd ask anyways. Thank you guys for doing what you do. You're all super helpful, and I really appreciate you all. And hopefully I'll see you at the, if you're having a maker meetup when you guys come to visit, Mike. So anyways, Merry Christmas.
I want to
Thanks
talk
again.
about, so Tommy had me, or Tom, it's his name's Thomas G. I mean, I call him Tommy G. I don't think he cares. I mean, I know he doesn't. He actually likes the name. Yeah, Tom Diculous. No, so Tom lives pretty close to me. He's like 15 minutes away. He's ordered some templates for me in the past, but he had me do a template for him, a custom template for a customer of his, and the cutting board actually got some traction, and he was telling people that I made the template for him. So I actually turned the template into a template you can buy on my Etsy store. So I named it the Tommy G. It's just named the Tommy G board. And then, cause I give away all my boards different names, but it's also it was one of the first digital template files I offered the file as. So there's the Tommy G template. You can buy the physical product, or you can buy the digital product for that. Cause all those templates, I mean, we've all talked about it, but those templates we have, or I have on my store, I don't own those digital files. I can reproduce them as a template and sell that, but I can't sell the digital file because someone else made that. So everyone's like, oh, can you sell that file? I'm like, I'd love to.
Quick question.
What's up?
What if you edit it? Yeah, what if you modify the original digital file? Then are you allowed to sell it? Because that's usually what I do.
I think you'd have to.
You're getting into gray area.
You have to change it a bit. I mean, I don't want to risk it. So I mean, I was like, I've changed a few of them quite a bit. I have another one actually called the Shield that I actually need. I just remembered I need to get up there, that I made for another guy, Wes. He was one of our patrons. He's not anymore, but he was. I made one for Wes, and I actually need to get on that. But all those other ones, I don't even want to like get anywhere near that. That seems like a sticky wicket. I don't want to get anywhere near. I don't want to resell any of those.
I haven't been doing that. I was just curious all of a sudden. Anyway,
I fired up Affinity Designer, and I've been really trying. That's another thing for 2022 is I want to start making my vectors in Affinity, because you use
Affinity is great. I've been
AI, right, Dan? Adobe Illustrator. Do one of you guys use that, or did I make that up?
No. I think anyway, Dan does it in Aspire, Affinity, right?
Yeah, I do everything in Aspire.
So I'm actually finding Affinity Design to be very, very fast. Like I'm really liking.
Very good.
There's extreme vector control in there, and it's
are you doing
really
the
nice
iPad
program.
or the
So
computer one?
Actually, so I did it on my Mac, and the iPad is way better because you can use your pencil. Mm-hmm. So the Affinity Designer on Mac on the iPad is just really nice. I've been really liking it. I can pull nodes with the pen and stuff. Anyway, the point is I'm trying to make some more template designs that I think are cool, so I can add those offerings on my Etsy store. So that's the explanation for the Tommy thing. And I'll get to his question real quick. So you're not going to be able to stop those boards from getting oily. You're just not. I usually do them in 3 layers of craft paper, and that typically is enough. Sometimes what I'll do if I have the time is I'll wrap them in the craft paper, set them all aside, and then I'll unwrap those and I'll wrap them in a new one before I ship. And then I'll actually reuse that greasy one from before. It's not greasy, it's oily, but it looks greasy. And then what was the other question?
Top seller this holiday season.
Oh, I didn't really have a top seller. I mean, templates are always moving. I'm always moving templates, but those aren't holiday related. I had a really varied holiday season. I mean, there was tables, there was step stools, there was cutting boards. I had a few cutting boards. It's kind of hard to say. I mean, if you were to say by volume, it's cutting boards, because I had some corporate orders for customers, and like one was 8 boards and one was 30 boards. So, by that number, it's that. But by revenue, it's tables for sure, like by a landslide. So it kind of depends. But it is just a really busy holiday. So anyway, finish.
I think items. You passed it to me. I think you broke up a little bit.
I did. Did it break up? I'm sorry.
Well, I was gonna say it sounds like maybe you're not given enough time for the finish to cure. Maybe try to plan a little bit more time before you start wrapping the board.
I think he's using oil, like just straight mineral oil.
Is he?
Yeah.
I mean, it can still like cure a little bit. I find that
Odie's oil does it too, and so does Bumbleshoots. I mean, as much as I don't Odie's oil.
Another thing I don't do is I don't wrap things in craft paper, because it does soak up the oil and it makes it look greasy. I use bubble wrap. It doesn't show that oily mess, but I try to finish it, quote unquote, and wait a few days before I wrap it. Because sometimes I don't know exactly what you're doing, Tom, but if let's say you take a board and you dunk it, you put it in an oil bath. If it has too much oil in it all at once, it will seep oil or wax for a day or two, trying to balance everything out. So beware of that. But I don't use craft paper. I use bubble wrap, so it doesn't show the greasy mess. Pete.
No, Dan, top seller.
Oh, top seller. Schmoties, obviously.
Which Schmotai?
Actually, my number one seller is just the walnut pack of bow ties. People want the walnut. I think I have 14, 15. I got 15 orders unfinished currently, and 8 or 9 of them are just walnut bow ties. I offer all sorts. I offer, maple, cherry, zebra wood now,
Zebrano,
birch, hickory.
You know what's so funny?
Walnut is the top seller.
I offer all my things in cherry, walnut, white oak, maple, and ash. I only sell walnut. That's all it sells.
People love the walnut, man.
Yeah. I mean,
I just thought people would want options, and walnut is obviously the top seller. It just sells so well. That's it.
Pete?
Thanks, Mike. So it's funny you guys say the walnut part, because my top seller.
Oh, I thought Pete already went.
No. That was the other guy.
What's so awkward here?
So I'm going to answer the second question first. So the biggest seller this holiday season was 3D printed stuff. So they're actually the Milwaukee tool holders and DeWalt tool holders were top sellers this year. Now, as far as cutting boards go, my top sellers were actually cherry. People really like the cherry this year. Very odd. I don't know. But I still have a couple of walnut boards left, but almost all my cherry ones are gone. So of the almost 30 that I made between large ones and small little bar boards, I sold probably 15 to 20 of them, something like that. Something in that number. And then it's so hard to pick one thing because I've had a lot of things sell. And the last one is those ornaments. And now everyone's already hitting me up for next year. They're like, "You're gonna do these next year, right? Because I want them for Christmas." I'm like, "Okay." And they're like, "I didn't see them in your Etsy." I'm like, "Dang it! I should have done it on my Etsy, but too late. Too little, too late. I'll throw them up for next year." And then as far as finishing cutting boards, so Thomas, T-Dog, T-Money, I was running into the same issue because I use butcher paper. Thomas. I also use oh my god, I actually wrote Thomas on here by accident. So I use butcher paper as well to wrap my boards. I had a lot of the blotching issues when I was using straight oil or an oil wax mix that was kind of more on the runny side. Since I started doing ODs and letting it cure for a few days, I don't have that issue anymore. However, to fix the issue during shipping and stuff, when I was oiling them up with just mineral oil or beeswax, what I would do is you can go to the grocery store and get they're slightly larger. They're like sandwich bags, the same thinness, but they're wider. They're a foot wide or a foot and a half wide, and I don't know, 18 inches long. You can put a whole cutting board in there, kind of tape it, and then wrap it so that oil is not seeping through. So that's one way you could do it, just to kind of hide that. But I would maybe look at some different finishing options because I know exactly what you're talking about. That blotchiness is, it looks oily when you get it, and it's kind of but try that. That's all I got.
It looks like a napkin that's been wrapped around fries.
Yes, yeah. You get fries, but I do like the butcher.
Man, I'm hungry right
paper.
Now. Teenager's face.
Wait, I think that's all the questions, right?
I believe so.
Wowzer.
Happy New Year's, you guys. I hope you had a great year. Big thanks to you for supporting the show the whole year. It's been another great year, and we're a year and 9 months into this thing. So
it's craziness.
That's pretty crazy.
And guys, send in some questions that we'll answer in 2 weeks. So in 2 weeks, we're going to be doing.
Yeah, we won't be back next week, like we said. We'll be doing some lives on Instagram.
Heck yeah.
hanging out. So we're going to be doing it. We'll probably realistic every time we get together. We're like, we're going to do lives every night. You're going to be here from us. You won't hear from us. We're just going to be enjoying our time together, to be very honest. We'll probably do like a live or two, but me, Dan, and Peter just be hanging out.
Each time we get together, we do less and less.
Hey, something I want to bring up real fast is we're getting pretty close to episode 100.
Hundo, cool.
100.
Very cool.
And it may be timed to where episode 100 lands when we're in Workbench Con. Have we discussed this? Do you want to discuss it, or should we leave it open and maybe discuss it at a later date?
We need to wait for an email on something real quick. I'm waiting to hear back for something on Monday, so we need to wait on that before we make any announcements. So
Sounds good.
I think because
keep that in the back of your minds. Episode 100 is coming up.
Yeah.
Usually we give stuff away on the big ones. Probably won't, but we might.
We gave away lots of stuff on 50, didn't we? Was it 50?
We did lots of stuff.
Yeah.
We got someone's got to get busy looking.
Pete gave away his virginity.
So I'll start talking about that.
It was a good episode.
$100 worth of my virginity. Just 2 servings.
2 servings and $50 a piece. All right, big thanks to you guys for supporting the show. Keep sharing the show. Leave us those stupid reviews. We love those.
Love them.
Well, keep sharing the stupid reviews. We love them. I'm not going to call anyone out. So keep those reviews coming. We love them. Thank you to the patrons. You guys are awesome.
Keep them PG.
Have a happy new year. No, keep PG-13, but some of them are getting a little crazy.
NT-17.
Like some of the reviews on the Yelp page and on the AWP page are getting we're not going to read them.
Risque.
So if you want us to, if you want us to read them, you can
go check them out. Drive traffic to the page.
But make it so we can read it. So if someone's listening in their minivan for some reason, their kids hear it and they don't turn into monsters. So anyway,
yes,
you guys are awesome. So anyway, we appreciate you guys very much. So thanks for all the support. We'll talk to you guys soon. Have a great New Year's. Bye.
I love you too. Bye.
See you next year. Love you long time.
Bye.